Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Yahweh Kakadash. The runs to the apostles, bishops, elders, a great millstone, do war and teach what Shalom, tell the sister, IQ, pushing truth on faith throughout the four corners of the earth. Say Shalom. Like, go back at you with another lesson, Lord, and be edified. It's going to be a very, very quick lesson, Lord, what I know I always said. Quick lesson, straight into the point, just happened on my spirit. Scrolling through Twitter, and, you just look at all these, all these Edomites, man. First with, patriotic, Republicans, MAGA, America first, Trump diehard and this and that, 47ers, whatever they call them. And now look, these are the same people that's, turning on Trump, man. That's, calling him out, on his BS, man. As well as not only on Trump, but just you have these Edomites as well, that's calling out the whole government. Not only just the Republican side, but the Democratic side as well, man. The whole government, how they're controlled, by the you-know-who's, man. Amalekites, man. Those gutter rats in our land that call themselves the chosen people, which they're not. They're biblical. Biblically, they go back into the nation of Amalek, man. The Amalekites, man. Which majority of the elites, are Amalekites, man. So, Babylon the Great is being, uncovered, as well as is divided, on all fronts, man. This, just looking at Twitter, man, and seeing, like, this place through, man. Everywhere you go, like, who's that Ted Cruz say? Everywhere is about basically shaming, the you-know-who's, but, that's prophecy, man. That's prophecy, and that's just, man. Because you're the ones, talking about Amalek and Esau as well, but Amalek especially, you're the ones that's bringing instability, like they say. Iran is bringing instability over in the so-called Middle East. No, it's Amalek ass, man. Trying to build a greater Israel and want to take everybody, land and things of that nature and expand their borders. Yeah, they like somebody has said. Forgot which guy had said it. I don't think it was Scott Ritter or Douglas. But basically, it was going into, Amalek as having imaginary borders, man. The borders doesn't exist to them. Wherever they land, they want to expand, and it doesn't matter, man. They don't have no lines, man. No border lines. Wherever they want, they go and take. They go and get it. But you got these, but with that, you have a lot of these Edomites that's, calling out them, man. And uncovering what America, or Babylon, aka America, is all about. Of putting your ass last and putting, Amalek ass first, man. Whether you like it or not, you don't have no say-so over here in Babylon the Great, man. If Amalek wants you to do something, you're going to do it, man. And you don't have... Let me let this plane fast. Ooh, I'm going to get that, yo. Because this is... And... like I'm about to read this verse. This is not only just Republicans. This is Democrats as well, man. This is Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Going back into Rome, man, the plebeians and the patricians. Let me go on my... I don't gotta go. The plebeians... were the Democrats and the patricians Were the Republicans. Yeah. Yep. Kind of call it about some y'all shot. But yeah, getting back to my point, it's not just the so-called Republicans. It's not they saying with the TSA and with Trump bringing out the ICE. If the Republicans just would have passed the bill, they still got to keep the infighting, fresh. With all the war that's going on, you still got to, some fucking, just looking at it, it's insignificant, man. You in the middle of war, you niggas is talking about the Homeland Security and people saying thanks Democrats or thank you to the Dems, with all these hour-long lines and shit. So they always got to keep that fresh. The Republicans, Democrats, going at it. How they saying the Republicans, the Democrats had the bill, but they didn't pass it. Or the Dems didn't, or they defunded the Department of Homeland Security. So, it's just a bunch of bullshit, man. They're all in, together. They're one bird, man. Two wings, but they're on the same bird, man. Like they had the chart, the Republicans, Democrats, and then the third one, which people are posting everywhere. You got the what? You got the House of AIPAC, man. Amalek ass, man. And I bet they come together on that. And no matter what they saying, all the Congress didn't vote on this. Congress don't have to vote on that, man. Because they're all with it, man. They're all paid in full by Amalek, man. Trump don't do anything. He's just a puppet. He's just a spokesperson. You can tell. This nigga just say anything, man. One day is we winning the Iran war. Another day is coming out Trump calling Iran to, please open the strait and calling on these other nations to come help and open the strait, man. Through. Niggas is through, man. And what people are coming out more and more and just pointing. These Edomites, man, they pointing all this out, man. You go on the Truth Social, you go on the tweet, because they be posting his Truth Social tweets on Twitter, and all they saying, he said a couple days ago, we're winning, we've won, and this and that. Iran is steady calling us for peace negotiations. You got Edomites posting tweets from the foreign minister of Iran saying we have not even talked to Trump, man. In which I'm going to pull that scripture. But this place is through, man. People are realizing it is no government, man. It's no we the people. It's none of that, man. There's no America first. What they saying now? America first means America last. It's one phrase. They and then they're asking these soldiers, are you American? And these politicians, are you American first, or Amalek first, Israel first? Free speech. And what they ain't saying nothing, man. Cause they know whatever they say, they gonna get their ass chewed, man. But like the brothers Uriah said at camp, soon these damn devils, about to just come out and say, man, we are all for the forwarding and pushing the agenda of the NWO on all your major television newscasts, Fox, CNN, don't matter, man. So they all link back into Amalek ass anyway, man. These are the times that we're coming into. Why? Because Esau Edom have a short time, and all your politicians that come to you like a lamb. And well, if the Democrats would have never defunded the Homeland Security, then we wouldn't have these long lines. Or no, if the Republicans would have passed the bill, whatever the 7 bills that the Democrats proposed, then we could have funded the TSA agents. Then it wouldn't been them so many of them leaving and all that. Nah, man, all of that's bullshit, man. You know, these long lines is gonna begin to what with these convenient, so to speak, convenient measures being added, all in a what? MOTB, man. You being RFID hip. No more where we need to, what you go on a plane, you gotta have your real ID or your passport, your face scan. Nah, man, you get this chip, you good. All of your movements is tracked. We know if you stole something wrong, you've done something wrong, you good, man. As long as you got that RFID hip, hey, man, you can pass on through, But none of that flying, nah, ain't none of that, man. Your ass, what Esau Edom is bringing this NWO is a 15-minute city. All of the things that you need will be in a very short radius, man. You don't need to go nowhere else. Sit your ass down. You owe nothing and be happy, man. And that's what, your politicians, they're not telling you, man. Through, man. Babylon Great is through, man. Yep, Psalm 64:8 says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. What you see these Edomites doing? They fleeing away, man. It's coming out. Even Joe Kent, he was the head of the national terrorism, head of national counterterrorism or terrorism. He resigned. He said, man, Iran ain't posed no threat to us, man. It was just off the strength of Amalek ass that we had to bomb him. If Amalek said, hey, man, America don't have no say so. I'm trying to remember that phrase, that new phrase in the earth. It's like America. It's basically, Israel first and America last. Dealing with that America first statement. But they switched it with Israel being first and America last. Yeah, America first means Israel first and America last. Something like that. But you got these Edomites, all these heathen nations, but especially when you on Twitter, it's just, my timeline just filled with Edomites, going in on Trump, grilling his ass, man, grilling. And not just Trump, and that's the beautiful thing of prophecy, man. Because knowledge shall be increased, man. It's Babylon the Great is being uncovered. The whole skirt of Babylon is being peeled. So Democrats and Republicans. Now it's just the House of AIPAC, man. The House of Amalek, man. A lot of these Edomites now know everything's controlled, man, by these elites. Whether you're, Democrat or Republican. A lot of these Edomites posting the how much money they get from AIPAC, all these Democrats and Republicans, these senators and House or whatever. They posting how much money they get from AIPAC, man, from Amalek ass, man. But that goes right into prophecy, man. Right into prophecy, man. You don't. All their ass is bought and paid for, man. On both sides, no matter how you cut it, man. And Edomites, they mad at this, man. What they say now, this is not what we voted for. And you should have thought a little harder. But we know, voting don't matter, man. And the president don't matter. Whether he's a Democrat or a Republican, man. He gonna do what Amalek want him to do, and ultimately, he gonna do what Yahweh Basham Yahushua want him to do, man. And that's destroy themselves, man, because that's what Babylon the Great is doing. By following after Amalek, Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to be destroyed, man, by all these nations. You see the division happening, not just Iran, North Korea, Russia. No. You know, America and its allies, man. You know, a lot of these other countries over there in the East, they depend on that strait more than over here in Babylon the Great, man. You know, so what you think they gonna do when that, which is already happening in UK and stuff, but they going more and more up. They gonna be like, they gonna take a step back and be like, hey man, you better get this situation in control before we put you in control, man. For we X you out of the earth, man. Look at all these countries that's rejecting to help Babylon the Great open that strait up, man. But soon what? They're going to start feeling the pressure more and more. And then, they're going to be at odds. They're going to be at enemies with Babylon the Great, man. It's just only a matter of time, man. And we see it brewing up more and more. Like the apostles, bishops, elders have said, it's a regional war now. But now it's getting more into that global war, man. And it ain't going to stop, man. It ain't going to stop. And that's the beautiful thing of being a prophet and having this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, man. A true prophet, because you look at all these other camps. These leaders of these other major camps. They're not telling you, what's about to happen. They're not warning you about Jacob's trouble. They're not warning you to be prepared, man. With all these other countries like India, niggas is fighting over gas and shit, long ass lines. That's about to happen over here at Babylon the Great, man. The scripture says it's about to be a time like no ever before. Brothers say, get it while the getting is good. And get it from the true prophets of the Lord. The hopeful elect. Stone that, Elder Apostle Tar and on down, man. So with that, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Arakakodash, the one to the apostles, bishops, elders, a great minister on the word and teach Lord. Shalom to all sincere, Aki, and pushing truth on faith throughout the four corners of the earth. ETL Bible Ball, Shalom.